ropes it off. A flying tackle by Anna Dropkick.
10 pounds of pure love.
Gotta hold this just a minute. You want a little bit more?
I'm the rich.
Gotta be the best of them. It's more to me than anything I've ever done in wrestling.
They call this the 10 pounds of gold. The championship has existed in its current proper form since 19...
That was pretty hard, and look at what he's gonna work now. Ooh.
Hey everybody, it's Durger time, and thank you for joining me once again for another episode of TEW 2020. Billy Corgan's NWA off a horrific injury. Holy hell, we ended the show last week with some drama. Poor Homicide here getting a severed spinal column. Well, I'm sorry, semi-severed, so that's somehow better. Going to be out for an entire year. Thankfully not one of our major players, but still a horrific thing to see nonetheless. Wow. Yeah, that was super bad. We have Power in 6 days, Clash Champions in 2 more. Still building up some of our storylines. Yeah, it's... oh, man. A real rough one here. We have some plans after Clash's storylines, and one of those is that we need to do a Crockett Cup, which usually happens within, I think, May. So, for us, at least I feel like that's what happened last time. I might be wrong about that. Can I see past Crockett Cup? Oh, it was in April. So we're missing it this month. Someone had reached out and said, hey, where's the Crockett Cup? And you were right, because actually it should have been in April. So, oh well, we'll do... Well, no, you know what? No, here, because we ended up ending it in July. So we're roughly within the right period of time. We're going to do another Crockett Cup. It's going to be smaller, I think. It's going to be more focused probably on the Alliance and who we can bring over. Again, the Alliance loans suck. People ask, why don't we do a little bit more with this? I would love to, but the Alliance loans aren't great. You get them for a one-time fee. It's honestly easier to go to, for example, Impact, and just hire someone for a bit, because most people's contracts are PPA. So, if I wanted, I don't know, bring Jimmy Jacobs back or bring Josh Alexander in, usually their contracts are just a PPA appearance. So, we can bring people in fairly easily to do something. Whereas with the Alliance contracts, it becomes a bit of a problem, because not only are you limited to a certain number a quarter, the Alliance loans only give you a one-time deal. Kind of sucks, to be honest. It's not a great way. It's really not how loans work in real life anymore. We can do talent trades with people as well, but you have to swap people out instead of just paying off for a while. So if I wanted a tag team, I could send a tag team to bring someone in, which is not a bad option. But they're no one seems to want, you're telling me AJPW wouldn't want FTR for a bit? Impact wouldn't want FTR? Okay, they would take that if I could send real. So you have that option, a short-term loan, right? And you can set the amount of appearances. And again, you're limited to it. It's really not a great system. I might end up making a little mini video at some point of what I think year plus in to the game now, what I think needs to be added and changed for a TEW 2022, or probably more likely 2024, to really make it interesting, or what competitors that are out there need to do to really make it a better, more well-rounded experience. And certainly the overhaul to the loan system is a huge one. Anyways, that's it for that. We got Thunder Rosa leaving in 3 days. Kimberly is now gone. So we definitely have some movement in our on our roster, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes change is good. We are losing a few people. We're down to 49 people on the roster. So I know that we only need 20, but we'd like to have a little bit more. So something to think about, that we might want to look at the alliance to pull people in, even for a short term, just to kind of bring some people in here. Eli Drake also still annoyed. Don't know what else I can give you. Give you a bonus, give you clearing the air, give you time off. He's furious at the booking of My Vicious Valentine, and he's still very pissed off about it. Well, too bad. All right, let's get to the show and see what happens in between. All right, let's see what we got here in the news. Nothing really interesting there. Some contract offers happening, which should not really affect us. Cash Wheeler is dating someone from outside the wrestling industry. Thunder Rosa is off for training. Got a loan for Aleister Black, aka Ezekiel Crowley. Riho is injured with bicep tear. Ouch. And then we're losing our deals for our broadcasting, which we know about already. The Kingston Sons one night deal for our alliance titles. Again, still holding them. It seems, as I say that, I'm going to take a look for sure. But it sure seems like our guys have them. So I know some people were concerned, saying that you got to be really careful because, at any time they could just disappear. Like they can lose their championship status, which is true. But so far they have been pretty stable in this. I think a lot of people that have done alliance titles in the past have found that their guys lost it, and usually I think that has to do with where they are in terms of popularity. So because we're one of the biggest of the alliance, we're pretty much, our guys are generally going to probably retain it. Whereas if there was somebody like massive in Impact, if they went to Impact, they might lose it. And that's a possibility. But for now, it seems like we kind of are top dog, and our guys are kind of, it benefits them more to keep them having the alliance title and then bringing them onto the show over giving it to somebody else. At one point, our main plan with it was to give it to AEW guys and then get them over here for cheap. But that obviously did not happen. I do want to look at this medical here real quick. I'm a little concerned about this tear. 24 days, that's unfortunate. Not a huge deal. We really didn't have any storylines for Riho at the moment. But that is still an unfortunate injury. Not as bad as a broken spinal cord, though. All right, let's get on to Power here. All right. No backstage incidents. We got to set ourselves up to the arena. And we can do some shenanigans with the locker room. I think I'm going to open for him again. Just to try to keep Eli Drake a little bit happier. See if we can start to lower his annoyed status. There we go. Absent workers. We got these guys, obviously. So that's going to be there for a while, but no other workers that we're missing here. Last week, we had some pretty good stuff going on. We had Eli Drake defeating Samoa Joe, so we're trying to give him a bit of a push, Pillman and Kingston setting up for a career versus career match. Kingston being a fighting champion, kind of allowing anybody to fight him, and which we'll use also to kind of bring in random people, which will be fun. Warhorse challenging Miro, which is bizarre. And so we're kind of building a bunch of little things here. We have a ton of little storylines percolating. They're probably not going to blow off on the next pay-per-view, but will probably blow off on the one after, I'm thinking. We will have to see, because we have some long-term storylines. I mean, we actually have quite a few storylines in the line here that we're kind of playing around with. So we're still doing a longer build. We're not blowing off every segment and storyline per pay-per-view. That's not how we're going to operate. We're going to have longer multi-pay-per-view feuds and some that are smaller that just kind of are one and done. All right, let's go ahead and let's book this show, see what we can do. We got 2 powers before our next pay-per-view, so we still have some time to build some stuff up. Let's get ahead and let's start booking. All right, guys, we are back. Only 120 minutes, which is technically 1 minute over than our actual normal playtime, even though we usually go to the full 125 that we're given. I think I'm probably... This is going to be the last time, and I think if I don't like how this comes out, I think we're going to switch to the older product. A lot of talk in the Discord the last couple weeks, and I think the general consensus is that we can change it. It's a little bit more creatively freeing, still provides requirements, and I think we'll go back to that older style, and I think it might be better for us. So I'm still struggling with the lengths of the matches versus the time that we have. I wanted more on this show, but I couldn't because I had to make some of these matches so long, and I really don't feel like they needed to be. And we didn't need to do that last time. I mean, like before on the older product. Before we could have quicker matches, and the fans would be fine with it. And I just don't think every match needs to be, 18 plus minutes. So I tried to... 18 is the lowest match length, I believe, and I'm trying to see if that will do it for us. I don't know. Last time we tried 15 and we got penalties, so I'm expecting penalties again. But let's see. Let's check out Power here and see how it goes. So unbelievably, 18 minutes so this was 16 minutes, even though it was scheduled for 18. Still too short of an important match in our eyes. We start the show with Delilah Doom versus Thea Trinidad. It's a decent match. Delilah Doom loses, is defeated by Thea in 16 minutes by pinfall. Delilah had a 34. Theo had a 57. We start a storyline between the two, dragged in the middle because it's too long, because it's just too damn long, even though we got a penalty for it. Yeah, I don't like this style. I don't like this product at all. Afterwards, we have a segment where Theo disrespects Delilah Doom and beats her up. It does fine. This is a medium for Delilah to get a little bit more story time. I'm willing to invest in it being a weaker segment because I think we can build her up on the lower card to actually make her a very good baby face for the division. So giving her a program with Theo should do that, I think. So we're going to have lower segments. That's fine, because I think we could build her up. Afterwards, we have a scene. It's a backstage angle. Pillman is in Jeff Jarrett's office after the revelation last week that Pillman wants to have a career versus career match in the NWA. Jarrett obviously is displeased by this. The Revenant are standing silently there as part of this sort of currently unnamed group that Jarrett has here. And Jarrett is obviously irritated. He goes, so you put your career on the line. He kind of speaks down to Pillman, displeased. kind of treating him childlike in this moment. Pillman is looking more and more frazzled every time we see him, and he's looking completely unhinged at this point. He goes, I need this. He says like a junkie, I need this. Okay? He took the belt. He took my dignity. He will not take my legacy. Jarrett, calm but still displeased, kind of pointing down at the table to kind of provide grounding, I guess. You lost the belt. This bizarre back and forth between the two of you, this isn't becoming the face of a company. I need you, I want you to put this behind you. Call off the match. No. Pillman says defiantly. No. I need this to happen. He needs to be gone. And you are going to help me. Pillman seems more insistent now, kind of bossing Jarrett around. Jarrett's eyes clearly indicating that he's not pleased with both the answer or the direction of Pillman's words. Pillman storms off without even getting an answer, as though he knows Jarrett will go along with it. Jarrett sighs, looks at the Revenant, and gives him a reluctant nod, who then follow Pillman out to join and assist him. Jarrett then buries his head into his hand, thinking about his next moves. Actually, Pillman looked good. Angle got the crowd hotter. We gain heat for the Dark Reign for some reason. FTR and the Revenant, don't know why. But obviously, we're building Pillman's eventual fall from grace, and do very well at that. Miro gets a long-awaited promo. We haven't heard from him in a while. Kind of came in as a big thing, then kind of fizzled out. We're giving him a bit of a push in his story. Cuts a promo backstage, staring deeply into the camera as he does. And he says, Warhorse wants to fight Miro. He talks about himself in the third person. Now, currently, we really have to develop a story or a character from Miro, and I'm trying to build that. I don't want to just crib off of his new character that he has in AEW, though I think it's interesting. I don't know if it's really the direction that I want to go for Miro. I kind of want him to be more of this sort of vicious, predatory monster, and I think we're going to build him up that way. So this is sort of the beginnings of sort of a character turn, and I think we'll probably even change his gimmick with this. So he says, Warhorse wants to fight with Miro. Is this how low I've gotten? That the bottom fish come to nip at my fins? Understand. You are not messing with the man of a year ago. The man that was lost in his own thoughts, confused and uncertain. Those memories are gone. Those thoughts cleared. You are messing with a predator who has a laser focus on his prey. You've dived deeper into that dark abyss than you've ever gone, and you've come across not a dying animal to prey upon, but a vicious, ravenous monster of the deep. And at Clash of Champions, you will be devoured. So Miro, again, building this sort of, kind of hates himself for who he had become. Now got a mission, got this sort of predatory animal thing going on, got the crowd hotter. This is a 53, pretty good. After that, we are joined at the commentary booth where Eli Drake joins Joe Galley and Paul Pinky George III to join commentary for the next match, who is Ace Austin in a match, who obviously Drake is now number one contender for the NWA World's Championship match at Clash, and he shares some negative words about Ace Austin, basically calling him, a weakling and, not a true champion, disgrace for the belt, all the kind of things you would expect. Eli Drake was superb working without a script. Joe Galley worked well. Everyone did a great job on the commentary booth. Looked really good. And Ace Austin has technically a exhibition match, but again, he's still the next gen title holder, 2-belt Ace Austin. So technically, the next gen title is always on the line. Therefore, it is defense number 7. He faces Ricky Starks, who's had some momentum until getting chopped down by his former leader, Eddie Kingston, looking to try to reclaim a little bit of that. Unfortunately, he does not manage to do so. Ace Austin defeats Ricky Starks in 15 minutes by pinfall and makes defense number 7 of the Global Force Next Gen title. Austin had a 64. Ricky Starks had an impressive 53, moving up very well. We figured this match would be a pretty good rub for him, though he was off his game, apparently. They showed great chemistry, and it showed in the performance. Good to know, because I think, to spill the beans, I think after Clash of Champions, Ricky Starks needs to become the next-gen title holder. I think that would be a great position for him. Even though the Alliance title might be a little bit more prestigious, I think Ricky Starks is going to have another belt and some more momentum going forward. Ace Austin benefited from having a hot new move. This match was too short. Just can't win. They were visibly tired by the end because, again, this could have been a better match. Though overall it did very well and it got the crowd buzzing. But again, this product is really hamstringing us. After the fact, Eli Drake leaves the commentary booth after the further disrespect, and the two of them brawl it out. They have to get security to pull them apart. We advance the storyline versus each other, and it gets a 55. It's not bad. After that, we got Gran Cosa de la Lucha versus Sleaze and Breeze. This match is okay. It's 47. It's a little weak, but considering Zicky Dice only gets a 35, and this is not too bad. Match went on too long given its aims. I can't win. Either the match is too damn short or too damn long. I can't tell. I just cannot win. So the match went too long, and it's also too short. Like, give me a break. Ah! I hate this product. Okay. It's a decent match. It does fine. It's 47. Gran Cosa de la Lucha defeats Sleaze and Breeze in 16 minutes. Laredo Kid pins Zicky Dice, and Laredo Kid's head and shoulders above everyone else. Afterwards, celebrating their win, we get a music and a huge pop as Pentagon Jr. re-debuts after having been seen in quite a while, and comes face-to-face with Laredo Kid and Samurai. Kind of stares down Laredo. Samurai del Sol standing on the sidelines a little bit. Pentagon turns to him and attacks, lays him out, and then faces down Laredo Kid, giving him the zero Miro to his face, and kind of walking away. Seems like there's some animosity, maybe. We're going to have to learn a little bit more about what's going on. But Pentagon kind of calling a shot of... It's interesting, kind of makes Laredo Kid feel like an equal in this, but then disrespects Samurai. So that's sort of an interesting dynamic. Pentagon, though, comes back in a big way to a big pop. Trouble in Lucha Town starts. Performance of Pentagon Jr. was good. Samurai del Sol struggled to follow without a script, and Pentagon improvised well. The face turn got a poor reaction, as the crowd still remembers his last turn. That's true. We probably have to pop that off for a while. Afterwards, we got Kingston's Open Challenge, and we get a big re-debut, a return. James Storm comes back to the NWA to challenge for the Alliance title. Eddie Kingston performed well, kind of just doing an impromptu call-out. And again, we're struggling with that face turn reaction. It's not getting a very good reaction. I gotta look to see if there's a setting for this. I might turn it off because I feel like I should be able to change them faster than sometimes the game lets you. But we'll look at that next Backstage episode. We'll kind of decide how we're going to set that. This gets a 45. The match is pretty okay. 55 total. Kingston had a 60. James Storm only had a 40. Had good heat, decent wrestling. Eddie Kingston defeats James Storm in 19 minutes by pinfall, gives him a back fist to the future. Kingston makes defense number 4 of the Alliance heavyweight title, and we bring James Storms back. And I think we're going to keep him around. He was scheduled as a local worker, but I think a 40 is a good mid-card range. I think he will do well for us after having lost a few people to boost up the roster with a good hand, let's say. Afterwards, though, Pillman gets attacked by an unhinged... Kingston gets attacked by an unhinged Pillman. He calls for the Revenant to assist him to kind of do a triple power bomb. They seem reluctant at first, kind of not really willing to take Pillman's orders, but eventually do follow through and slam Kingston through like a table, beating him up and damaging him up before their main event next, or it'll be the Saturday after next for this, because you still have another episode of Power. But Pillman is trying to weaken up Kingston. We gained some heat for a couple storylines. Dark Reign, obviously because Revenant are champions. Obviously we build up the Pillman-Kingston final feud here. And it does pretty well. 56 ends the show. I think we're going to get like a 55, maybe 54. 55, it's not bad. The growth is... That's interesting. We would have gained popularity in 4 British regions, but growth was restricted due to a limited number of viewers there. That's kind of an interesting... I've never seen that before. We increased our show's popularity in 21 regions, which is not all of them. We are performing worse, I think, and I think it has that product has a lot to do with it, unfortunately. Overall, though, still not a bad show. Still moving the needle. I can't complain too much about it. All right, we got some mail. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. Just our power ratings here. 0.05. Not too bad. Power report was the show was excellent. So, I mean, we're still on the top of the card there in terms of what we're pulling off. Very happy with that. In terms of our size, I think we're still kind of where... Oh, actually, we moved up to 49. Oh. We've been moving that up quickly. It's still, again, basically like 1 a month, but we're still moving that needle. We need to get to a 57, I believe, 59. Got a long ways to go in our home region to get this, but 35 in either of the Great Lakes, we're there. So once we hit this, we're there to medium, and that'll be a big leap for us. So that's super cool, very exciting. We'll hopefully be able to manage this broadcasting fiasco eventually. So we got another Power in 6 days, and then the Clash of Champions afterwards, building up some interesting things, some interesting storylines, getting Pentagon in there. You know what, before I even forget, because I'll forget in between filming this, I do want to bring James Storm back. But I think we need a few other people. I think we'll probably do a little minor bit of hiring and firing in our next backstage live stream, which I think we'll do after Clash of Champions. So I like to do that every once in a while. Let's go ahead and we'll just do a handshake. 600 seems fine. I'm not too concerned about this deal. And we'll just have a PPA to bring him in at some point, and I think that would be a lot of fun. Never been a huge fan. I think he's a good hand though, and has a decent popularity. So he can put some work in for us. He can put some other talent over, and be a decent gatekeeper for us. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me for this episode. Still moving that needle in that subscriptions. So if we're really close to 2,000, I mean, we're not really close. We got like 500 away, but 450 away last time I checked. So that's pretty crazy. If you're not subscribed, please do so. I would love to reach 2,000 by the end of the year. I think it would be such a cool, weird milestone for such a small, niche channel. So thank you all for continuing to support what we're doing here, and hopefully we'll have some great things ahead. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time.